Okay, let's take a look at A6.
Oh, no.
Find the parabola with equation y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. It has a slope of 4 at x equals 1, a slope of -8 at x equals -1, and goes through the point 215.
All in.
This problem, or one very much like it, was actually on last year's final.
Yay.
Lucky.
Cash.
Luck!
No. Skill.
So, the slope is 4, so how do you find the slope of this parabola?
Yes.
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 Take that 40 and then
Nope.
do you find the y?
See?
How do you find the slope of any curve? Nope.
Take the
X
derivative.
squared plus y squared.
Tangent line,
Take the derivative.
take the derivative. The derivative is the slope.
Nice
The
job.
derivative is the slope.
Woo!
Okay, so the slope of this thing is 2ax plus b, right?
Yeah.
So now, since we know the slope is 4 when x equals 1, I can plug in 4 for the y prime, and I can plug in 1 for the x, and I get 4 equals 2a plus b.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay. Then I can do the same thing with this one here. The slope is equal to -8, and then plug -1 in there for x, and that gives me -2a plus b. Okay, And then I'm also going to take this point right here, and that's a point on the curve.
Yep.
So this is your x, and this is your y. So that tells me that 15 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. So how many equations do I have? 3. 4 equals 2a plus b, -8 equals -2a plus b, and 15 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. What's that? Because this said that this was a point on the graph. It didn't say anything about that. Yeah, so this is the original graph, so this puts a point on the graph. So solve it.
Solve one of our
Okay, so these over here, 4 plus -8 is -4. The 2a's cancel equals 2b, so b equals -2. Now what?
Plug that in.
Plug that into either here or here. Which one? Top one. So that means that 4 equals 2a minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. 6 equals 2a, so a equals 3. And then plug them into this one. So 15 equals 4 times 3 plus 2 times -2 plus c. 7. So the equation for the parabola that meets all of those conditions is y equals
3x squared plus minus 2x. That's kind of cool.
ta-da. Okay. Maybe you should be teaching the Civic University football with matching shoes and laces. All right.
Hold on.
This is ball. That's just the new thing. I didn't like. I didn't notice anything else.
I saw you go first and then 7th graders do it.
Okay, then you said 93.
The hat
YOLO.
All right, 93 says. 93 says for what values of a and b is the line 2x plus y equals b, tangent to the parabola y equals ax squared when x equals 2. So tangent to the parabola means what? Means derivative. Okay, so the derivative of this is 2ax, right? And then we're concerned about what's going on at the point x equals 2.
Okay.
So plug it
So
in.
plug it in, so that means the slope of the parabola at that point would be 4a. So if I want this line to be tangent to there, it needs to have a slope of 4a. What part of this has to equal 4a?
Y equals pretty much
Isn't it
the part before the x.
the
The
derivative?
part before the x when what?
Right now it's going to be -2.
Right, it's going to be -2 because I have to solve this for y first. I have to get it in slope-intercept form.
That's what I said. It's not what you said.
Sorry. Okay, so the slope of this line right here is -2, right? So for this to equal -2, that means a has to equal 1/2. All right, so a has to be -1/2 for the slopes to be the same. What else has to be true for them to be tangent?
The y has to
Yeah, I mean, they have to have the same points,
be the same. Yeah.
right? Okay, they have to touch. They can't just have the same slope. It didn't say parallel to the tangent line, it said actually physically tangent to the parabola. So that means it touches the parabola. So what did you say? The y's have to be the same?
Yeah,
So you want to set these two things equal to each other?
sure.
Okay, so ax squared equals -2x plus b. Yeah, you do.
Plug in -1/2.
Plug in -1/2 for a. What do I plug in for x? 2 equals -2 times 2 plus b. So -1/2 of 4 is -2 equals -4 plus b. So b equals 2. So this part right here is what we needed to make the slopes be the same. And then this part right here is what we need for the lines to intersect, or the graphs to intersect. What's that? So you're
Oh,
done.
wait, that's
That's it. What values for A and B? This value for A and this value for B.
Don't let this be bigger than this.
Yeah, she's gone now.
Yeah, she's gone.
For UCLA.
Oh yeah, she was at UCLA State.
Are you mocking me?
No, I just remembered because I got a bunch of golfers there too. All right, last one, 101. If C is greater, I'm not mocking you. I was mocking somebody else. If C is greater than 1/2, how many lines through the point 0C
Still.
are normal lines? What does normal mean?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
Oh, look again.
So the parabola y equals x squared. Your standard parabola. So you've got the point 0C. So that's going to be a point somewhere on the y-axis, right? And then you have the graph of y equals x squared, which, like Stephanie said, is your regular old-fashioned standard parabola. And you want to know how many, what was it?
Normal lines.
How many lines? Okay, so how many lines are there normal to the, okay. So what do I have to do?
Green said infinity.
Okay, what does he know?
I agree.
Okay. What do I need to do to find the, take the derivative of this?
Y equals 2x.
Okay, so what's the slope of that? 2. So I'm looking for one normal to that, so that would be a slope of
Good
-1/2.
call, Kyle.
Okay, so how many lines are there through the point 0C that have a slope of -1/2? Uh-huh. What?
It'll be on the left side, right? Because everything on
Well, it has a slope of -1/2, so it'll be something like this.
So is that a normal one?
What?
Is that a normal one?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah. It was only
I don't know
perpendicular
what
on
the
one
normal
side.
line
though.
is.
Yeah, normal line is perpendicular. Oh, okay. It would be a normal line if it's perpendicular to the tangent right there.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's not perpendicular to the other.
It doesn't matter.
So it just has to be perpendicular to the
Right. So possibly right there would be 1, but I guess what they're trying to get you to understand is if I move 0C up here and then keep the slope the same as -1, now since this tangent line is steeper, it's not going to be normal to there. So how many places will that be the case?
1, 2,
Where's the other one?
on the opposite.
On the opposite side, maybe? Do you think there's a way that you can get a normal line over here? What's true about the slopes of all of these tangent lines on the left side of the parabola?
Negative.
They're negative. And since this has a negative slope, can they ever be perpendicular? No. So how many would there be?
1.
One.
But are we sure there is even one?
No.
No.
No?
So is there 0?
How do you know? Why do you think there's not one?
Well,
I just
because.
don't know.
What would the slope of the tangent line over here have to be?
2.
2. What point does that happen at?
X1.
Y would equal 4.
Yeah,
No.
it happens at.
0, 4.
It happens at what?
Well, 1 squared is,
If I take the slope of 2
That's the base of our
and
assignment.
set it equal to the equation for the derivative and solve that for x, then yes, that happens at the point 1, and if I plug that in, that would be 1, 1. Okay? So at the point 1 comma 1, I should say x, y equals 1, 1. At the point 1 comma 1, the parabola has a slope of 2, right? So that means that a normal line does in fact have a slope of -1/2, okay? But what's the y-intercept of that line? If I have this as my point and this as my slope, what's my equation?
Y 1 equals.
Y minus 1 equals, there's the value, okay? So y minus 1 equals -1/2 x plus 1/2, right? And then I have to add 1 to both sides. So the intercept would be 3/2. So are we okay? Are we in the place where c can be greater than 1/2? Yeah. So why does it say what about, oh, if c is less than or equal to 1/2? So that, the first answer is there's 1. And that's this equation right here for when c would equal 3/2. Can we get more if we go less than? No? If we move down here, what if we get into the negative things? It's still not going to work, is it? So we're still just going to go with 1? Let's see if that's right. I don't know if that's right.
The other way.
Yeah, okay, so you're right. So actually then, I don't know why did I say that it would only have to be like this way. So we could also do the same thing over here where that's going to work like that. Okay, good. So those are 2. And then that's a nice call on that one. This right here, the tangent line is horizontal, and there it's straight up and down. Okay?
That's a
So
few
there's
points
actually
on the
3.
positive side.
Yeah, that's quite a few points on the positive side, except for the whistling thing.
Wait, what?
What?
cancels it out.
Yeah, the whistling cancels it out. Huh, okay, so there you go.
Did you throw my board away?
Say hi.
Oh, and then yeah, like 2 weeks ago. And then the other question is, how many of these would hold true if C had to be less than, why is that not? If C is less than or equal to 1/2, how many of those tangent lines could we use?
At least 1.
Only this one right here. Because this one here, we figured out the y-intercept would be 3/2, so C would be too big. C would be 3/2. So if it's less than or equal to 1/2, this tangent line is the only one that's going to be normal to the curve.
Who wrote track?
I want my pen changed color.
Who is BD Steve? Their birthday.
But you guys have a track.
There we go. All right, so let's take a look at this last thing here where we're more, oh, you had a little bit more to go here.
Who's BBC?
I have stopped paying any attention to the whole birthday thing. I've lost control of my calendar.
By 6.
All right, so number 6, you ready? Number 6, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, on this?
Uh-huh. So this is the reason why we had to go through and learn all this stuff first, because they do it in a totally different order. Because this one right here is already using e to the x functions.
But that's easy, derivative.
But that's
X
easy, yeah.
just is
So the derivative of this, what do I have to do to the square root of x?
Take it into one half.
Make it to the 1/2. All right, so if I want to take the derivative of that, it is going to be
4.5x to the negative
4.5x to the negative 1/2
minus
minus
8
8
e to the x.
c to the x. Okay, not bad.
That's 8.
How about b?
Make it a y to the negative 7.
Okay, so we'll make it ay to the negative 7 plus b e to the 8. A.
Negative 7.
Negative 7
Y. Negative
Uh-huh.
plus 8.
That's a b.
She said 8.
So it'd be 8, 8,
8.
e to
Again,
the
lot.
Would be 8b.
I think it'd be 0. B to the 8 is just a number, right?
That's
So what's the derivative of a number?
Oh, 0.
But b is just a number too.
Yeah.
0.
Oh, no.
I don't think, I think b
So that'd be like
is,
4 times 3.
yeah, right.
Let's say.
There you go, right.
The
So what's
A,
it?
so
Nope, because the a and the b are constants, not
And a
variables.
y is
Yeah,
Y is the variable.
That's what
yes.
keeps being.
That's
A
what
would
keeps
be
it.
like 7.
Huh.
Exactly.
Got the
Right.
problem.
Yeah. Beats each
Nice
other's
job,
class.
Austin.
For some reason, it's just clicking today.
Okay. Well, it shows you learned something the first time through, I guess.
Yes. Didn't know anything with the first part of this assignment, because I don't know.
You weren't down with Tafu and his particle accelerator?
No, I wasn't, I was doing the, like,
Oh, yeah.
zero six.
Okay, so this one now we have to use our old friend product
Are we
rule.
allowed to now?
Yeah, we must be. There's no way you could do this without. I mean, you could do it the super long way, but I'm going to go this and that. So 1
First. E to the x.
b2 plus 2. Isn't that the same thing as right here? 4.5x to the negative 1.
You just leave it like that.
Works for me. Okay?
I like these.
Oh, do you now? Okay, D, yeah, we must have learned the product rule and the quotient rule in this section.
Low.
Low,
Y. Minus I. Below. Square.
and just for funnies,
6.
I'm going to say 6 goes into all of these things, and they all have at least an x. So that will make my final answer be x e to the x minus 2 e to the x over 6x. What?
Woo! Booyah, Grandma. What are you talking to?
Who are you talking to?
What if you said that to a grandma? Your grandma would be like, "Huh?"
Where should you?
Okay, E, anybody?
do some like.
Well, yeah, I have my own, but I will.
Yeah, we gotta do quotient rule here. You can't do anything cool because there's two terms there, so you can't make it to a negative power. So low, d high, yeah, so the derivative of 1 is 0, so this would be technically t plus 2e to the t times 0 minus, so it's low d high minus high d low. What's the derivative of the bottom?
1 plus 2t e to the t.
Over the square of what's below. So really just negative that over. No, because this, I thought maybe that would work, but that has a 1 and that has a c, so that's the last thing to do though, maybe work out. But
All that was.
this time is 0, yeah.
Okay, now.
All right, and then last one, product rule. First one, times the derivative of the second, plus the second, times the derivative of the first. Subtracting.
3 times.
Negative something.
5 halves minus 1 is 3 halves. Oh, that's not an e.
Yeah, that's good.
Next.
Why is that? Oh.
Okay. Quiz Friday. Yeah, we'll go quiz Friday. Yeah, let's do number 7. Find the equations of the tangent line and the normal line to y equals x to the 9th plus 6 e to the x at 0, 6. So we have a point. All we need is slope is
9x.
9x to the what?
8.
Plus,
60
okay? So to figure out the slope at that point, I plug in plug in 0 for x, and that gives me
6.
6. So that means the slope of the tangent line is 6, so that would be y minus 6 equals 0, nope, equals 6 times x minus 0, or in regular speak, y equals 6x plus 6.
I think there's a normal line.
Normal line is perpendicular, so the slope would be the opposite reciprocal, or negative 1 over 6, so that's going to be y minus 6 equals negative 1 over 6 times x, or y equals negative 1/6x plus 6.
Is there a sign for a tangent line?
No. All right. Okay, so then your assignment is to work on the last 7 on your own. Tomorrow we'll go over any questions you have on those, and then I'll try and rally out the practice quiz for you that we can take and then go over. And then we will quiz it up on Friday, and then start